Haguro-san has been rated 3 stars on Michelin's Green Guide Japan. 3 stars means worth a special journey. So here I am, about to climb 2,446 rock stairs up to the top. Are we ready? So welcome everyone, it's me, Kyota. As of 2024, I'm the author of 3 Amazon bestseller books on Japanese culture and history, Folk Tales of Japan, Underdogs of Japanese History, and Horror Tales of Japan. Now, if you're the type of traveler like me who doesn't like traveling in big groups, but you would appreciate a tour guide without him being physically present, you'd rather go at your own pace alone or with just 1 or 2 really close friends, then this is the video for you. Just watch it on the night before you go, and you'll have a far more informed experience enjoying some gems in Japan. So today, we're climbing Mount Haguro, or Haguro-san in Japanese, a mountain located in the outskirts of the city of Tsuruoka in Yamagata Prefecture. Yamagata Prefecture is home to amazing food, by the way. It's a countryside of no exception to the aging population of Japan, but there are really nice restaurants and confectioneries being developed especially by younger inhabitants. They use the local brand beef, Yamagata beef, local vegetables, and very tasty fruits such as cherries, grapes, and pears. Look for nice modern-looking restaurants, and even if they're pricey, you will not regret eating there. To get there from Tokyo, you take the Shinkansen to Niigata Station, which is like under 2 hours, and then get on a express train called Inaho to Tsuruoka Station, which is around another 2 hours. When you ride the Inaho, if you sit on the left-hand seats, you'll get a nice view of the Japan Sea from your window. Just a tip, but whenever you travel on a Shinkansen or an express train, pull up your Google map and check if the railway passes by any big mountains or bodies of water and on which side they will be. For example, if you're traveling from Tokyo to Osaka on a Shinkansen, Mount Fuji will be on your right. Reserve a seat on the right-hand side, and if you're traveling from Osaka to Tokyo, Mount Fuji will be on your left. Reserve a seat on the left-hand side. And give the window seat to your girlfriend, okay? And enjoy watching her enjoy the spectacular view. So, try to make a reservation as early as possible so that you will still have the luxury to choose seats. So anyway, it takes at least 4 hours just to get to Tsuruoka Station, and Haguro-san is another hour and a half away from there, so you'll need to stay at least a night in a hotel in Tsuruoka if you don't want to sprint up the mountain, which I guarantee is suicide. The accommodation I used was Shonai Hotel Suiden Terrace. It's a hotel built right in the middle of paddy fields, so you get a nice clear view of the mountain ranges. Super clean, staff's really nice, and you smell trees everywhere because half the hotel is made of wood. They also come with a hot spring bath, and the food, I was amazed. Not the cheapest hotel, but no regrets. Anyway, there's a bus leaving from a bus terminal near Tsuruoka Station that goes right to the foot of Haguro-san. So after I checked out of the hotel around 9 a.m., I walked to this place called S-Mall Bus Terminal and got on the 940 bus number 041, and got off at Haguro Zuishinmon bus stop around 10:20. I'll put a link to the bus schedule in the details. So I got there in the morning. The morning sunlight really makes the forest significantly more aesthetic. You will see why the mountain was selected as a sanctuary for spiritual training from breathing the air and seeing these tall trees covered in bright green moss. And that's basically what Shintoism is. Nature is so beautiful in some places that the beauty you perceive is converted into awe for nature. And you start to think, this must be where gods live. And that's how Sacred Mountain started. To simplify things, Shintoism, in a practical sense, is just a big appreciation for nature, okay? There's no doctrine, no one telling you what to do or not do. Just feel awe and don't piss off nature. That's what it is. Now, Haguro-san is one of the 3 spiritual mountains in this area. Legend goes that a prince of the imperial bloodline was shown to this mountain by a 3-legged raven 1,400 years ago. That's what this picture in the lantern symbolizes. The kanji for ha means wings and guro means black. The other 2 sacred mountains are Yudono-san and Gassan. Here both are extremely beautiful in their own ways, and they are collectively called Dewa-Sanzan, the 3 mountains of Dewa. But I haven't been there because I haven't reached the ranks of a hiker who could hike 3 mountains in one trip. Idono-san and Gasan are connected, so technically, you can hike two of them in one go. Not that I recommend it. Let's focus on Haguro-san today. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2,446 steps leading to the big shrine at the top. But there are plenty of scenic places at the foot of the mountain before the climb even starts. There are some shrines and a waterfall, and an exquisite 5-story pagoda, which is a national treasure, which I'll talk about later. Now, this mountain is a practice ground for monks of a religion called Shugendo. In a nutshell, it's a mishmash of Shintoism, Buddhism, folk religions, and even Taoism, and you can have a glimpse of the feel of Shugendo here. If you step up close to the waterfall, you'll see little shrines with nothing inside because Shinto gods are invisible, and you'll also see a statue right next to it. This is a Buddhist deity, and it's very symbolic of how Japan has accepted both Shintoism and Buddhism to coexist in the same space. You'll see Shinto symbols in some Buddhist temples and Buddhist symbols in some Shinto shrines. Now, in the Shugendo practiced here, it seems like this river was where the practitioners purified their bodies. Before they did, they took off their clothes and the decorative rope they wore around their necks, called shime. And so you can see some shime hung on this cherry blossom tree. You see that woman climbing ahead of us. She's wearing a hiking outfit, but also a shime. She's taking the climb very seriously. So here we are at the 5-story pagoda. It blends really well with the trees surrounding it, so to me, it appeared out of nowhere when I was looking at the beautiful trees. Beautiful structure. It's said that this one we see today was rebuilt 600 years ago. And this is not the only 5-story pagoda in Japan, but there aren't many that's standing in the middle of a dense forest like this one. FYI, there are 3-story and 5-story pagodas in different parts of Japan, and if you include smaller, statue-sized ones, there is a 13-story pagoda still standing. The obsession with odd numbers came from Chinese philosophy, where odd numbers were associated with good fortune, and Japan was copycatting everything from China until the end of the 9th century, and architecture was one such area. It's interesting how a part of foreign culture, imported in the past, remained and was localized like this. What's equally amazing is this old tree next to it. This is a cedar tree that has been named Jiji-sugi, and it literally means old man tree. It's over 1,000 years old, and in Japan, if you live that long, you are welcomed in the ranks of deities. And that's why it has a shimenawa rope wrapped around it. More precisely, these shimenawa signify things or places that gods are believed to visit, not the gods themselves. This Jiji-sugi used to have a companion called Babasugi, or Old Woman Tree, but unfortunately it was blown down by wind in 1902. So now it's the only oldest tree in Haguro-san. So up we go. There's a gimmick here in Haguro-san that I wanted to try out. They say that there are a total of 33 pictures engraved on some of these stone steps, and if you find them all, your wish will come true. The first one I came across was this, the kanji for the number 3 with a circle. I have no idea what this means or if this counts as one of the 33 pictures, but let's say it does so that I can feel like I'm off to a good start. The air is crisp, the trees stand tall, and the moss covering them is just out of this world. But it's a long climb for a non-hiker like me. I do feel like a Shugendo monk in practice climbing these stairs, and I can already feel the sense of accomplishment waiting at the top. Now, I found this mark on one of the steps, and I like to call it my second picture finding of this climb, but it's more like chalk than an engraving, and as the one before, no idea what it signifies. It does look like the family crest of the Takeda clan, but this region was never conquered by the Takeda clan, so it's likely not. I don't know how long I was climbing, but I think around 30 or 40 minutes from the pagoda, there is, thank God, a cafe. It's a surprisingly stylish cafe, actually. You wouldn't expect anything fancy in the middle of a mountain, but here I am with akashiso soda, and it tastes amazing. And look how tasty the view is, too. I honestly feel a level of accomplishment where I could end this journey right here, right now, but there is no cable car or public transportation here. Just stairs. So after resting around 30 minutes and having some good rice cake treats, we resume the climb. You know, moles, mogura-san in Japanese, they're not like cats and dogs. You see them in picture books about life underground, but growing up as a city kid in Tokyo, the only real mole I saw outside zoos was back in high school, but it was dead because it was run over by a car. This was the first time in my life I saw a live mole. I actually heard it making rustling sounds under the leaves, and there it was. That's how quiet this place is. Goodbye. Is this it? Can I count this one? Maybe it's a peach. A really badly drawn one, though. 3/4 the way up, there are a couple of little shrines again, and one of them looks like no other. The lattice of this Haniyamahime shrine is wrapped with red ribbons, probably based on a Chinese belief that you are connected with your destined partner with an invisible red rope tied to ankles. This belief was localized in Japan, and it's believed that an invisible red string is tied to the pinky between you and your soulmate. Why do we know it's red if it's invisible? Nobody knows. Haniyamahime Shrine is thought to bring you good luck in finding a match, so what some people did here was write their wishes on a strip of paper and tie it onto the lattice, along with a red ribbon that you can buy at the shrine complex at the top of Haguro-san. I'd just like to share with you that Haniyamahime is a goddess that appears in Japanese myth. But she doesn't just appear in Japanese myth, she was a deity born from the excrement, the poop of a higher deity. And no one has figured out exactly what that's supposed to mean. She has been thought to be a god of agriculture because maybe poop and soil fertilization go hand in hand, but good luck connecting the dots between that and her becoming a matchmaking god. I tried, but there was no convincing explanation out there. Okay, so on that note, we carry on. And near the top of the climb, I finally found an engraving that I'm confident it's one of the 33 pictures I was looking for. It's a gourd and a sake cup, so I suppose it's telling me that I've made it. It's time to relax. I bet my ass there were not 33 engravings. I found like maybe 2.5 of them. Or they weathered so badly that they were not recognizable. Anyway, if somebody finds all 33, there better be something good coming his way. And after climbing nearly 2 hours, we make it to the top. I am exhausted. But it feels more like exhaustion after swimming. The air is so clean and it's chilly too, so you won't feel so disgusting. All in all, it was a rewarding experience. This is Dewa-Sanzan Shrine, a shrine complex enshrining deities associated with the 3 sacred mountains in Tsuruoka, along with a bunch of others. The interesting thing about Shinto gods is that their divine presence can be divided like how single-celled organisms reproduce through budding. That's why you would find shrines in different locations enshrining the same popular gods. And conveniently enough, their powers are not compensated from being at multiple locations at once. Most of the buildings were under construction when I went, so I wish you better luck. Anyway, there's a bus stop called Haguro-sancho, which is around a 7-minute walk from the shrine. As of the date I climbed Haguro-san, there are only 4 buses leaving from the top of Haguro-san a day, so don't miss it if you don't want to walk down the mountain. The bus is bound for Esmall Bus Terminal, the one we came from. I'll put the link to the bus schedule in the details. And by the way, there's a souvenir shop next to the bus stop, and you will want a sugar rush after all the climbing. There are many giftable confectionery sold, but this one, Sakuran Board. It's not a very appetizing name, but it's supposed to be a pun because cherry is sakuranbo in Japanese. But it tastes really good. Actually, the fragrance of cherry is amazing. You can probably get this at Tsuruoka Station too, but reward yourself during the bus ride back. So I hope you enjoyed the climb with cultural commentary, and if you did, you might also enjoy my books. I have 3 published on Amazon as of the date of this video, and all 3 have become Amazon bestsellers. Folktales of Japan, 28 Japanese folktales with cultural commentary. Underdogs of Japanese History, 11 tales of iconic characters who prevailed against odds or didn't. And Horror Tales of Japan, 21 Japanese folktales not to be read to children, coupled with mostly uplifting cultural commentary. Please check them out.